today on life, a human being cannot sin against God. It is impossible. A human being cannot wrong God. A human being cannot commit sin against God. It is impossible. When we talk about God, we are not talking about your religion, your religious God, your book, do's and don'ts, and the law to control you that they gave you inside the book you are reading. God, the creator of the universe, has nothing to do with that book. Has nothing to do with that book. That book was made by human beings that wanted to control you. Now, the real creator of the universe is a she, is a woman, is a female. Okay? Yeah, I said a woman so that you can understand it. It doesn't mean that it's a girl or it's a woman. No, but it's a she. It's not a he. So, she, the creator of the universe, is not a police that follows you around to know what you have done, to make you afraid. Sometimes he will arrest you, sometimes he will frighten you, sometimes he will be your friend, sometimes he will be mad at you, sometimes he will be happy with you, sometimes he will shout on you, sometimes he will try to caution you. No, the creator is not that way. The creator of this universe is not a god of your church. It's not a god of your religion. It's not a god of your mosque. The creator of this universe is before the creation of your church, before the creation of your religion, before the creation of your mosque, before the building of your church, before people wrote your book, that book you are using. The creator of the universe was, and she is. Okay, having made that point, I want you to know that the planet, possibly you are living in a country, of course, or in a state, that's sure. Then in that your state, maybe you are in a village, maybe you are in a town, anywhere you might find yourself in this world, just know that this is one planet out of the billions. In fact, there are 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy contains trillions, billions of solar systems. Understand that you are still in one planet, in one Earth. Okay, then that there are other billions and trillions of galaxies that contains different solar system. Enlarge your understanding to understand your pocket God. It's not that thing that controls you. That is not God. That is your emotions, your feelings, your culture, your traditions, your religion, your philosophy, your education. Those things are the things controlling you. The creator of this magnificent infinite universe does not have any sin that you can commit. Beyond physical realm, the creator is often viewed as transcending the physical realm, existing outside the limitation and constraint of time and space. Okay, this is the way we understand the creator. The creator is not a police following you around. Now, okay, I hope you are hearing me and seeing me very well. So I want you to understand this thing very well. You don't have the ability, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the power to sin against God. You don't have it. You didn't hear me well. No matter what you can do, no matter what you've done, no matter what you might do, it will never be a sin against God. It will never be a sin against God. But you can do something and it will be wrong according to our law, according to our existing protocol or law that we human beings made. So you did it, or if you do it, it will be against us, against your neighbor, against your brother, your sister, against the nation, against the country, against someone. But it's not against God. There is nothing like sin against God. Any rule that you can break was made by a human being. Any rule, rule that you have the ability to break. If you have the ability to break it, that rule was made by a human being. Please start thinking, start awakening. If you are capable of breaking the rule, we're not even talking about whether it's good or bad. So if a rule is in place and you have the ability, possibility, capacity to break it, and you did, that rule was made by a human being. That rule was made by a human being. So it's not a God, the creator's rule. You don't have, get it. You don't have the You know, I don't know if you're getting this, what I'm saying. You want to do something, then we begin to discuss whether you can do it or not. You see, before you try. So you don't have the ability to sin against God. You don't have it. It's not in you. You do not have the know-how, concept, ability for you or me or anybody around you to do something against God. It's a lie. God is not a book angry, jealous, vicious, or selfish, tribal, selective, discriminative, partial God that like we have in the Bible, or like we have in Quran, or like we have in religious books. A God that stays with one people to fight the other people. A God that chooses the other people so that he can the other people. A God that bless somebody so that he can curse somebody. All these are religion. Religion is serving their rules, their own concept, what they fabricated in the image of their thinking, in the image of their understanding, in the image of what they want around their society. That is what religion is. Religion is a government of its own. Religion is the government before we created democracy, before we created autocracy, before we created communism, before we created any form of governance, okay? Before even the monarchs, religion was the government, okay? So you need to understand that religion is control. Police is control. Government is control. So anything with rules and regulation, it could be even a tribal control. It could be a traditional control. It could be a cultural control, cultural law. But all these things were made by who? People, human beings. But when we talk about the creator, the one that made billions and billions of other planets that the Bible didn't even know that there were other planets. The Bible didn't even know. The Bible tells us about the sun, the moon, the land, stories that link the sun, stories that link the moon, stories that link the earth and everything, the water, dividing the water, everything. They never knew there were other planets because no telescope to see those things. So those people that were telling us stories, you know, in those days we had no Nollywood, no Hollywood, we had no Bollywood, we had no Spider-Man, we had no Iron Man and everything. To entertain people was to create stories. Human being is very talented. We've been very talented in inventing stories and fairy tales, and that is what religion is all about.
150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.